The comic book world is full of magic. Magical villains, magical weapons, magical creatures, but most importantly, magical superheroes. We got tons of them, and for the most part, they are very powerful. Which is good because there are some dangerous villains out there who consistently try just to take over the world. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Top 10 Nerd. I am your host, David Raff, and today we are going to be talking about the top 10 strongest magical superheroes. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe and to hit that lovely little bell so you never miss another video. Alright. Let's get started. Number 10. MAGIK. Illyana Rasputin is a mutant and the sister of the famous X-Man, Colossus. She was born in Russia, but when she was very young, she was kidnapped by a being known as Belasco and taken to Limbo, also known as Other Place. It was there she not only learned how to control her own abilities, but was taught even more during her time there. Eventually, she became powerful enough to escape, although when she returned, she found out that only a few seconds had gone by on Earth, whereas for her, it had been years. She then went on to join the New Mutants and took on the name MAGIK. Her powers include stepping discs, which allow her to teleport great distances and through time. She also is a master of sorcery because of her time in Limbo. Number 9. Raven. Rachel Roth is the daughter of the demon Trigon and human Angelo Roth. For most of her life, Raven had no idea who her father was. She was raised in an alternate dimension called Azarath by the goddess Azar. It was there where she learned to control and harness her abilities and emotions. It was Azar's hope that this would help Raven fend off her father's influence once, she eventually returned to Earth. Eventually, Azar passed away and Raven learned of her father, who, of course, went after her. Raven left Azarath and went to Earth. She wanted to recruit other heroes to help her in her fight against her father. Unfortunately, she was rejected by the Justice League, which forced her to create her own team, the Teen Titans. They managed to stop Trigon, but obviously not for good. Bad guys never say gone forever. He eventually did end up coming back again. Raven is very powerful. She's able to cast magic spells, fly, teleport, use telekinesis, astral projection, and darkness manipulation. Number 8. WICCAN. WICCAN, also known as Billy Kaplan and formerly known as the hero Asgardian, was revealed to be one of the long-lost children of Scarlet Witch and Vision. His powers come from the same form of chaos magic as his mother, whereas his twin brother Speed inherited similar abilities to their uncle Quicksilver. Billy grew up in New York with his adoptive parents who, he thought were his real ones for the longest time, Rebecca and Jeff Kaplan. Billy was bullied all the time because of his sexual orientation, and one day after being beaten up by John Kessler, Billy decided to go to his favorite place in the entire world, the Avengers Mansion. It was there he met his favorite Avenger, Scarlet Witch, who gave him advice on how to stand up to the bully. He didn't really take the advice right away, he kept trying to avoid the problem, and then one day he noticed John tormenting another kid and decided, you know what, enough is enough. He stood up to John, which in turn ended up unlocking his abilities, resulting in him almost killing him. Later on, he ended up becoming a member of the Young Avengers and is in a relationship with fellow Young Avenger, Hulkling. WICCAN has a wide array of abilities that include, teleportation, flight, mystical reality warping, force fields, telekinesis, and telepathy. One thing to note is that he is still young. Many believe that, as he gets older, he'll become even more powerful, so, odds are, he will only get closer to the top of this list as the years go on. Number 7. Zatanna. Zatanna is a powerful magical magician. She's the daughter of the famous magician John Zatanna and magical user Cinderella, who was a member of the magical group The Hidden Ones. For most of her life, Zatanna believed her mother died when she was, really young, which turned out obviously not to be true. Turns out she faked her own death so she could be with her own people. She was primarily raised by her father John, who took her all around the world, helping her learn and control the magical abilities she inherited. Unfortunately, an evil witch, Allura, cursed Zatanna, and she couldn't see her father ever again. But she was eventually able to break that curse, but it just took a really long time. Also, when she casts spells, in order for them to work, she needs to say them backwards. She's also been a member of the Justice League and Justice League Dark. She can also use her spells to control fire, air, ice, earth, plants, and she can also fly, control the weather, and make illusions, use telekinesis, telepathy, travel to different dimensions, and create force fields. Number 6. John Constantine. Oh man, John Constantine. As I mentioned in a previous video, I know in the original source material it's pronounced Constantine, but in all of his live action appearances and animated appearances, he's referred to as Constantine, and honestly that's just kind of the preferred pronunciation nowadays. Okay, so John Constantine is a magical con man. He was born in Liverpool and raised in London. He's a master of dark arts and smokes a ton of cigarettes and says whatever he wants, and that's usually why he tends to rub people the wrong way. But he honestly doesn't care. One of the most famous stories regarding John is the Newcastle incident. When he was younger and not as skilled in magic, John made a fatal mistake that would haunt him for the rest of his life. John was called to help a young girl named Astra. She was possessed by a demon, so John decided to summon his own demon to get rid of the one that was in Astra. It worked, but John lost control of the demon he summoned, and it ended up taking young Astra back down to hell with it. John has become one of the most powerful magic users in the DC world, and since he is a master of the dark arts and practiced magic his entire life, John can, cast spells, he can summon demons, obviously, and travel to different dimensions. Number 5. Shazam. Originally known as Captain Marvel, Shazam is a superhero from the DC universe. Now, there have been a few different origins for Shazam. Today, I am going to talk about the one that came out of the New 52, which was the main, inspiration for the 2019 film Shazam. Billy Batson is an orphan who consistently ran away from every new family that he was ever put with. Eventually, the Vasquez family adopts him, and that's when things start to change in a way. They are a very loving family with multiple adopted children. Of course, this still doesn't stop Billy from just trying to leave at the first chance he gets. One night, Billy sneaks out to visit a tiger at the zoo, Mr. Tawny, but is followed by his new adopted brother Freddy. They then decide to take revenge on these bullies from their school, who have, tormented the family for the last few years. Of course, something goes wrong and the bullies find them. Billy then decides to distract them, which allows his brother Freddy to get away. He then escapes onto the subway and is taken to the mystical fortress known as the Rock of Eternity. From there, the wizard known as Shazam sees Billy's potential and how he has a good heart and bestows his powers onto him. So now he can stop Black Adam and the 7 deadly sins. Now, to access these powers, all he has to say is Shazam, and he transforms into a full-grown adult with powers. The wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. Number 4. Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff comes from the Marvel Universe and has a very complicated history. For a very long time, it was believed she and her twin brother Pietro, aka Quicksilver, were the kids of, supervillain Magneto, but that ended up not being the case and was later changed. Turns out Wanda and her brother were taken from their real parents when they were very young and experimented on by the High Evolutionary. So not only did they reveal that Magneto wasn't her true father, it also revealed that she wasn't technically even a mutant either. Back to the main point, Scarlet Witch is just insanely powerful. I mean, she can manipulate and warp reality and is able to cast very powerful spells. Wanda has even been a member of the Avengers and ended up having 2 kids with fellow Avenger Vision, one of which we mentioned earlier on the list. During the events of the House of M storyline, which is now referred to as M-Day, Wanda uttered the words "no more mutants" and caused almost the entire mutant population to lose their powers. Oh jeez. Number 3, Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate is a DC character that has been the title of different people over the years, but today I'm going to talk about the one that's arguably the most famous, Ken Nelson. Ken was the son of an archaeologist. Him and his father were exploring a tomb and accidentally awoke Naboo the Wise, which ended up releasing this poison gas and took the life of Kent's father. Naboo decided to take Kent on as his apprentice, even though, Ken didn't really want to. So Naboo erased all of Kent's memories of his father and began to train him. He eventually became very, very powerful in the ways of magic, and Naboo decided to give him his memories back. Of course, Kent wasn't really happy about the whole situation, but Naboo explained that he was the Lord of Order and has been fighting the never-ending battle between order and chaos. Before leaving, Naboo gave Kent a golden amulet and helmet. He told Kent that these 2 items would grant him even more power, and of course, Naboo's spirit is directly tied to the helmet, so anyone that ends up putting it on is connected with him. Dr. Fate went on to be one of the founding members of the Justice Society of America, and he has a wide array of abilities, flight, spells, telekinesis, enhanced strength, speed, invisibility, time travel, reality manipulation, and of course, is immortal. Number 2, the Spectre. Also from DC, the Spectre is a mystical being who, like Dr. Fate, has been linked to multiple people throughout the years. The most popular version being Jim Corrigan, a cop who was murdered by a gang. Hal Jordan, also known as Green Lantern, has also been the Spectre at one point in the comics, and one of the more recent ones was Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, during the Arrowverse crossover event Crisis on Infinite Earths, based on the comic of the same name. The Spectre's powers are directly tied to the Presence, which is kind of like DC's version of God, in a sense. His mission is to deliver God's vengeance upon those who are evil. Now, on his own, his powers are essentially limitless, but in order to operate on Earth, he needs to have a human host. And that's where, some of his limitations come in. Although, that doesn't really stop him from being one of the most powerful beings in the universe. He has been a crucial part of multiple world-ending threats in the DC world, the most famous being Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he helped the Paragons stop the Anti-Monitor. And, fun fact, he is also one of the founding members of the Justice Society of America. His powers include immortality, reality alteration, dimension travel, flight, super strength, fear projection, invisibility, and the list just goes on and on. The guy can basically do anything, and he's pretty awesome. Number 1, Doctor Strange. I mean, was there ever any doubt? I mean, Magic and Doctor Strange, they just go hand in hand together. Dr. Stephen Strange hails from the Marvel Universe. He was a highly skilled surgeon who got into a terrible accident, permanently damaging the nerves in his hands. Stephen tried to heal his hands any way he could, but nothing was working. Modern medicine was just failing him. So he decided to go beyond that. That's when he found the Ancient One, who taught him in the ways of magic. One of the things I admire most about Doctor Strange is that he has truly grown as a character. He was this jerk with just a massive ego and thought nothing bad would ever happen to him, but of course, that's not how life works. And after the accident, he trained for years and years to become the most powerful sorcerer in the Marvel Universe. And, you know, that is pretty awesome. His powers include casting spells, astral projection, flight, you know, because of his handy dandy cloak of levitation, protective shields, illusions, time manipulation, telekinesis, and dimensional travel. Alright, there you have it guys, the top 10 strongest magical superheroes. What does your list look like? Let us know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd. I am your host, David Raff, and thank you so much for watching.